Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today I have an Advent Bible Journal process video for you. I am creating some videos and some content for my church, and I thought that I would bring you guys along with me as I journal. So today I'm going to be journaling in Isaiah 40, verses 3 and 4. I have some watercolor picked out. I know I'm going to pull out some other mixed media as well. So I will definitely link everything that I use down below. Otherwise, I'll put you guys on fast forward. Let's go. For this first week of Advent, I am reflecting in Isaiah 40, where it says, "A voice of one crying out, prepare the way of the Lord in the wilderness, make a straight highway for our God in the desert. Every valley will be lifted up, and every mountain and hill will be leveled. The uneven ground will become smooth, and the rough places a plain." And like I mentioned, I'm actually doing a whole series of these videos for my church to play during service. It is much more sped up and will not have my voice, but music and some different kinds of voiceovers happening. But I'm so excited to get to share Bible journaling and my love of Bible journaling with those in my church. So I will link that service below if it has aired. I think it should have aired by this time, so you can check that out if you're interested. But I think this is going to play during the offertory or during the lighting of the Advent candle, so I will keep you updated. So for this one, we are reflecting on hope, the first week of Advent, and I am starting out with some watercolor, and we are going to create a beautiful galaxy sky in the background. When you're using watercolor, you want to make sure, of course, you need plenty of water, but because these Bible journal pages aren't necessarily made to take a ton of water, I prefer to work in layers when I'm wanting richer colors. So I've put plenty of water down, however, I'm just adding and kind of very gently letting the water move around the page, using my brush to kind of encourage its movement. And then I'm going to dry this completely and then go back and add another layer. So I definitely wanted some richer colors, but if you don't dry and you just keep pouring more and more water, you're going to end up with holes in your page, and that is something you don't want to do. So I let that dry completely, and then we're going to go back. See how it lightened so much when it dried? Let's add another layer. And again, I don't want to do tons of like back and forth big motions. I'm very gently putting the water on, because if you start to overwork these pages, that's when you're going to get the tears. So we're bringing in more color, more blending, and I just wanted to reflect on, I was kind of honestly thinking of just the hope I feel in the night when things are calm. Have you ever been watching a sunset or a sunrise and there's no sound and you know something amazing is happening? I'm, specifically thinking of those times when you know it's a big day and maybe you woke up early and you are just watching the sunrise and you know something amazing is about to happen. And I feel like that's kind of the hope that God gives us in so many ways. We know amazing things are going to happen because our God has promised it, and we get to witness beauty around us, and we can hold on to that hope, and we know that hope has arrived in the form of Jesus, and it's just a remarkable thing. So we got our galaxy look in the background, our sunset or sunrise sky, depending on how you look at it. And now I have acrylic gloss spray from Dina Wakley, and I'm going to use that to just flick a bunch of white stars across the sky. I love the gloss sprays for this. I have trouble controlling the gloss sprays in just the regular spray form, but when I am splattering them, they work great just because the gloss adds a nice little sheen, which is of course perfect for stars, and I feel like I have a pretty good control over where things are going. Of course, there's still spray that ends up all over the place, but I like how this one turns out. So got the gloss spray down, and now we need to add a little bit more of interest. So we're going to add some acrylic paint and go for a mountain landscape in the background. I am definitely not Bob Ross, and I don't consider myself a great painter. So I always kind of Google images when I'm wondering, when I know I want to do a certain look and I wanted to do some mountain landscapes. So I literally will Google easy mountain landscapes and then see if I see some that I can kind of copy and imitate in my own colors and things like that. And that's what I'm doing with this one. I'm having trouble with my acrylic paint. All of my handmade modern acrylic paint is several years old now, and it's starting to dry up, and it's probably time to start looking for more acrylic paint. I do like the Dina Wakley brand, but it doesn't come in a ton of colors, which I like having a ton of colors. So I'm gonna probably look into Liquitex paint and see about investing in some of that. Just to have, I love acrylics, and so I like getting to use it in all kinds of ways. But my handmade moderns might be on their last leg, you guys. So we started out with a kind of denim blue. Now I'm going to come in, once that's dry, with a more royal blue. We're going to add in a second mountain over here to the left. That's going to kind of layer on top. You can see I'm like digging in and having to work really hard to make that acrylic paint work, you guys. It was rough. It was a little bit of a stretch. So we're going to have our other mountain kind of cascading. As you're doing a mountain scene like this, you just want the mountains to get darker as they go down, which was the plan. So we're going to fill this in. And then the last one is going to be black. And I'm going to do kind of a drier brush and a different technique so that it ends up a little bit looking like trees. Just gives a little bit of texture to the technique. So let that one dry completely. Now come back in with black over the top, and you can see I'm gonna kind of do a rougher looking line. It's not gonna be smooth at all, and then I'm gonna continue that technique throughout as it goes downwards, and that's kind of representing trees. So from far away, it works. I'm not saying this is like the most artistic thing ever, but it's an easy way to kind of create that landscape look. And I like the layered acrylic over the watercolor. I think that's a cool look, and it's definitely giving off the feeling of what I was going for in this instance, which is just the vastness of the sky. And I was just thinking of the phrase in the passage where it says every valley will be lifted up and every mountain and hill will be leveled. Just the majesty of God coming down, and it blows your mind. It blows your mind every Christmas season. It blows my mind for sure. Now here's where the art gets maybe slightly sketchy. I wanted to have a little person on the mountain, and they have their hands lifted up in praise to God. But like I said, I'm never count myself as like someone that could draw for a living or paint for a living. Perhaps I like crafting, but this guy, I don't know. It definitely gives off the impression of a person, and that's the goal. And I want to encourage you, if you are adding things to your Bible, if you want to draw, give it a try. It's okay if it doesn't turn out perfectly. It's your Bible and it's for you. And so while this person might look, I don't know, he looks fine, just maybe a little corny with the hands and they look like they're wearing mittens. It's okay. I'm gonna let it go, and I've learned to let it go and to still be willing to try new things, even though I don't feel super confident with those, just because A, it stretches my creativity, and so if I never try anything, then I'm never gonna learn anything, and B, it's way more about the process. All right, next you can see that I was trying to write out the word hope with my Posca paint pen. It is also out of ink or out of paint. I am like running low on supplies. I think what happened is a lot of my supplies have just gotten older. I get them, I tend to get supplies in spurts, and so the Posca paint pens are several years old, the acrylic paint is several years old, and so it's definitely on its last leg. The paint pens are for sure. So now I'm going over the word that I sketched out in the paint pen, which is usually much more pigmented. Those are fabulous paint pens. Mine is just empty. I'm going to go over it with white acrylic paint so that it really pops, and that's going to take a couple of layers just so that it is pretty thick. So I have to dry between layers and then go back and add a little bit more, and you'll even see me add even more right at the end. See, second layer, getting it all done, letting it dry, and then I do come back and end up tracing around the letters of hope because I want it to pop. I want it to have the defined edge. So I'm going to just use, oh, sorry, another white paint pen, just filling it in as much as I can. And then I will come through and trace along the edges. As I finish up on the title for this page, which is hope is here. I'd love to hear what you are doing to celebrate Advent or to reflect on Advent. Are you doing a specific study? I, of course, am creating these videos for my church through the Advent season, and then I'm going to be using the Illustrated Faith Advent Kit to reflect on a daily basis throughout Advent. But let me know in the comments below how you like to take time to reflect during this season. That'd be great. And I always love hearing new ideas because you guys are so creative. It's so amazing. I love hearing from you all of the time. So as you can see, I'm going to finish this up. You will be seeing some more Bible journaling videos each week from me. This whole series that I'm doing for church is mainly focused with mixed media because I think that that's really fun to watch, especially when it's sped up. So you'll see a lot of mixed media coming your way throughout the month of December in my Bible journal. So you can check those out if you are interested in adding a few mixed media techniques to your toolbox. All right, I think that's pretty much going to be it for this video. I have to finish a little bit of hand lettering, and I kept it nice and slow for you guys here so you can just see. This takes me a while to do, and generally I speed it up a pretty good amount. And this is actually already sped up twice as fast as normal. So keep that in mind when you see my quick videos. It's always edited just so that you don't have to watch the whole process, but it does take a good long amount of time. I will link all of the items that I used in this video, all the supplies down in the description box. I absolutely love this set of koi watercolors. So it's my favorite, and I've had it since I started Bible journaling many years ago. So it's an awesome set. You can pick it up on Amazon. I want to give a huge shout out to all of my Patreon members. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you're interested in checking out what's happening over on Patreon, I highly encourage it because we're having a fabulous time. So you can find the link for that in the description box below. And I want to thank all of you guys for joining me this Advent season. I hope that you have a fabulous week. And as always, keep it creative.